Before we start speaking about AI and ML and all these latest technologies, first of all, I just wanted to lay down the context with which I am coming from during this conversation. There are two things that I would clearly would like to highlight. One, from whatever I experienced in past, AI is not about man versus machine. It's about man with machine, right? It depends on a lot on who's wielding it. Right. And second thing, we have come into an era wherein AI is more about a strategic capability, right? It's not like you're experimenting with AI or you're still exploring the world of AI. Organizations are really, have started implementation of AI in the cybersecurity space or for that matter, other technological space and started maturing.
Great, fantastic. Moving on, Vikrant, with your experience in managing compliance-heavy environments and audits, how do you see AI influencing regulatory landscapes and risk assessments in cybersecurity?
I'll still stick to the thought that it's again a strategic capability. In compliance, regulated compliance heavy environments or regulated industries, right? Again, there's a balanced approach. AI is both a catalyst, as well as a disruptor, in the regulatory environments. What RBI is expecting, or for that matter, SEBI, and IRDA, if they are looking at AI, the shift is not in reviewing the implementation of AI. It's about, because definitely those are capabilities that are strategic decisions of the company or the organization. But what they're looking is if we are getting into a concept of trustworthy or explainable AI, right? And that's where the truth is. It's not about believing AI as a black box and it does everything today. No. Today, the industries, the SMEs, the regulators and the industry leaders, they are looking more towards explainable AI, wherein they could peep into the underlying algorithms, use cases, that if AI has made a certain decision or maybe arrived at a certain risk, what is the model behind that, right? Yeah. How transparent that? So AI, if it is running some processes, those have to be transparent, auditable, that should have an audit trail, and definitely that logic has to be justified. And that's where the competency lies. If you have to manage AI in a heavy regulatory environment or compliance oriented industries, you definitely, it's not only about implementation of AI, it's about exploring explainable AI or more trustworthy AI, right? So that transparency has to come in. Probably, the technology folk, and it requires a good niche of skill, between both understanding cybersecurity as well as, having knowledge around AI and data analytics so that you can understand the concept, make sure that you have enough auditable trails and transparency to justify to the regulators that the model that we are running, the AI that we are running is trustworthy. It is giving us the right logic and is helping us reduce our effort as well as at the same time.
Sure, Krant. And Hitesh, adversaries are also using AI. We've been discussing all of it in our conversation. And right from deep fakes to social engineering, automated attack scripts, how do an organization stay one step ahead? And is AI a double-edged sword? What's your thoughts on that?
I think, Khushbu, first and foremost is most of the organizations today already looking at upping the game in terms of, any investment that they're making in the cybersecurity today, right?
Right.
I was reading some Gartner quote, kind of a research that they published where they are talking about roughly about 5% increase in the budget, IT budget, especially because of some AI-based initiative within the organization, right?
Yeah.
And out of that, if you look at the IT budget, it's not just about, running a new program. It's also about consolidation. It's also about deploying some tools to automate some of the decision making. Okay.
Right.
I'll tell you, let's say if a company, an organization is running 24/7 SOC, there's obviously a human element involved in terms of they're looking at the logs, they're looking at all the alerts which are generated by the systems. But can human go through every logs? The answer is no, because there are tons of logs, lines. It's very difficult for a human to read and then act accordingly. In such cases, AI-based inference or AI-based training can really be very handy and helpful to narrow down the search criteria and then just highlight something which are very, very critical, which needs to be actioned. And then when the human will, take corrective action in terms of what should we do with that adversary in terms of impact, right? So decision making is definitely is there, but it works in a way the filtration of data in terms of a right element out of a particular log of data or tons of data which is available is something happening at an AI or a machine learning level, which is helping the human to take a corrective decision or something like actionable intelligence. This is
Right.
what passed on to us. It becomes more accurate and more learned process where it is not a blind decision, but more of an informed decision in terms of how do you want to react to this particular advice, like a DDoS attack or any kind of
Yeah.
an attack which is targeted towards your organization. So I think it is really working well, and many organizations have learned hard way that we just can't rely totally on automated process, but have to have a human element be part of the decision making process.
Super, fantastic. Vikrant, how are you preparing your internal teams for AI-driven security practices? Are they upskilling initiatives that are currently, driving these kind of mind shifts that requires attention? How are you currently looking at that?
Sure. So, Khushbu, upskilling and training on new technologies is definitely with the major industries and very heavily regulated industries is more of it becomes a top priority of the board, the top management, right? And that's how it is today. As I said, AI is not just a tool; it's just a shift in the mindset, right? It's a whole paradigm shift. How we think about threat detection in cybersecurity, or how do we respond, or how do we have to manage the risks, right? So it's more of shift in the whole mindset. But definitely, our security teams and IT teams, and even across the industries, right? There are numerous trainings available in the market, as well as the organizations are also helping the end users to have hands-on training on AI tools, threat modeling, definitely incorporating machine learning as well. Make them learn how to interpret the outputs of AI, right? There are a lot of cross-functional learnings also happening because definitely if we have to protect a certain system which is AI enabled, maybe that's being used by some other function, not a technology function, but operations, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Or products. They're also leveraging AI. So we need to, there are a lot of cross-functional trainings also, we should foster and encourage, wherein people understand how AI is helping not only cybersecurity, but all the other operational functions within different industries today. So it's very important, proactive, intelligence-led approach, rather than reactive one. That's what the shift I'm talking about. If people understand that very layman, then probably they'll take AI trainings and, upskilling themselves in the right manner. So yeah, that's happening
Sure.
definitely today across the industries.